We are constantly hearing financial advice from all sides, right? But have you ever just stopped and wondered, what do the experts actually do with their own money? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain for a confession from a real finance insider. And trust me, the truth is probably not what you're expecting.
I mean, it's the real question, isn't it? Forget all the complicated theories and the fancy charts for a second. When it's their own hard-earned cash on the line, what moves are the gurus really making? You'd probably guess it's some super complex, secret strategy.
But here's the big reveal. The secret isn't really a secret at all. In fact, as our expert confesses, their personal strategy is almost boring in how simple it is. So let's dig in and find out what this boring secret is all about.
Okay, so to really understand the choice this expert made, we first have to get a feel for the world they decided to leave behind. A world I like to call financial noise.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this total whirlwind of jargon that we're all taught is investing. You've got hedge funds, day trading, people screaming about the next market crash, algorithms that are so sophisticated you need a math degree to even begin to understand them. The whole thing feels urgent, complicated, and, let's be honest, incredibly stressful.
So, what's our experts' move in the face of all this chaos? They just don't play. Seriously. No day trading stocks on a whim. No trying to predict the next big crash. No staying glued to the financial news 24/7 or trying to copy some complex hedge fund strategy. They simply refuse to play that game.
All right, so if they're not playing that high-stress game, what are they doing? Well, this brings us to what I think is a perfect analogy: the gardener versus the gambler. These are really the two different paths you can take to build wealth.
This table just lays it out so clearly. The gambler is always trying to beat the market. They're reacting to every single headline, always hunting for that one huge fast win. And it's a life filled with stress and anxiety. But then you have the gardener. They work with the market. They're patient, they're consistent, and they're all about nurturing slow, steady growth over a long time. The result? A calm, routine, and predictable way to get wealthy.
So what does being a gardener actually look like day to day? Forget the chaotic energy of a Wall Street trading floor. For our expert, reality looks like this: a simple, repeating reminder in their calendar. That's it. That's the entire system. It's the complete opposite of the financial chaos we're sold.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is this simple, maybe even boring plan actually made of? Let's look at the blueprint.
The main tool in the toolbox is something called a low-cost index fund. Now, don't let that name scare you off. All it really means is that with one single purchase, you're buying a tiny little piece of the entire stock market. Think about an S&P 500 fund. You're not just betting on one company, you're betting on the whole US economy to grow over time. It's like diversification on autopilot.
And here's the whole method, right here in 3 simple steps. First, you put it on autopilot. You set up a regular purchase of those index funds every single month. Second, and this is the most important part, you ignore all the noise. Doesn't matter if the market is way up or way down, you just stick to the plan. You keep planting those seeds. And third, you just let time do its thing. The magic of compound growth is going to take over and do all the heavy lifting for you over the decades.
And this chart right here shows you exactly why that consistency is so darn powerful. On the left, you've got consistent investing. It's that slow, steady climb. On the right, you see market timing, which is what happens when you try to jump in and out, waiting for that perfect moment. It's pretty clear which path gets you further in the long run, right? The calm journey almost always wins.
But you know, this whole strategy, it's about so much more than just the numbers on a screen. It's really about changing how you define what it means to be rich. It's about way more than a number in your bank account.
So here's a perfect example to chew on. Why would a financial expert ever pay off their mortgage early? I mean, mathematically, you could probably earn a better return by investing that money in the stock market instead. On paper, it's the wrong move. So why on earth would they do it?
The answer is simple, and it's brilliant. The goal was never to squeeze every single penny of profit out of a spreadsheet. This expert optimized their finances for maximum independence. The feeling of peace that comes from owning your home free and clear, that was worth way more than a few extra percentage points in the market.
And this right here is the real-world trade-off. This is the choice we all have. On one side, you have the cost of complexity. Anxious, sleepless nights, always watching a screen, that constant fear of missing out. And on the other side, the reward of simplicity. Sleeping like a baby, having more time with your family, and being truly free from financial worry. Which side do you want to be on?
Now look, I get it. That fear of missing out, FOMO, is a very real, very powerful feeling. You see stories about people striking it rich overnight, and you think, that could be me, I'm missing out. But what our expert is confessing here is that there's a hidden cost to that chase. The price you pay is almost always your own peace of mind.
So let's bring this all home. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal isn't just some number. It's about achieving your own personal independence.
So here's the philosophy we can walk away with, and it's incredibly powerful. It's about realizing that true sophistication is simplicity, that being consistent is way more powerful than trying to time the market, that the real goal isn't just getting wealthy, it's being free. And maybe the most important rule of all, if your financial plan is costing you sleep, it has already failed, no matter what the numbers say.
If you're just starting out your career, maybe you're a recent grad and you feel totally overwhelmed by all the conflicting advice out there, I want you to think of this as your antidote. This is a calm, clear path forward that's designed to reduce your financial anxiety, not add to it.
And that really just leaves us with one last, simple question we all need to ask ourselves. It has nothing to do with market returns or portfolio sizes. It's just this: what is a good night's sleep really worth to you?